The coast of Mozambique is home to one of the world's most dangerous and profitable drug routes. Every week, wooden boats slip through the darkness loaded with cargo worth millions. No alarms, no sirens, just quiet exchanges on the shores of the country's unguarded coastline. That's more than 40 tons of heroin every year, all bound for European clients. Behind this silent smuggling empire, we find corrupt politicians, shadowy business tycoons, and a global network of traffickers. The thing is, they operate in plain sight, protected by bribes, favors, and a system designed to look the other way. This episode will bring clarity on why Mozambique is a major player in the global heroin trade. How did it happen? And why is the world ignoring it? Afghanistan is the world's heroin factory, producing nearly 90% of the global supply. Deep in Helmand and Kandahar, the Taliban's run a billion-dollar heroin operation. When international pressure is too high, they ban it, and when things cool down, it funds their war machine. Once processed, heroin is smuggled across the porous Afghan-Pakistani border into the Makran Coast region. Spanning Pakistan and Iran, it serves as a major launch point for maritime drug trafficking. Here, heroin is packaged into 100-kilo consignments and loaded onto dhows, traditional wooden cargo boats destined for East Africa. These dhows are the backbone of the heroin trade along the southern route, a significant drug route from Afghanistan to Europe, second only to the infamous Balkan route. The wooden vessels range from 15 to 23 meters in length and are notoriously difficult to track due to their ability to blend in with legal fishing and trade operations. From the Makran coast, the dhows navigate the deep seas before making offshore deliveries to smaller speedboats waiting near Mozambique. The heroin is then transported to secluded beaches and unmonitored harbors north of Pemba and the Quirimbas Islands. Mozambique's 2,000-kilometer coastline is a smuggler's paradise, long and unguarded, perfect for illicit trade. As a result, it has become the preferred transit hub for heroin for the past 25 years. Locally called Bandari Bubu, these remote and unmonitored harbors offer a very safe landings for heroin shipments. Once on shore, they enter a sophisticated network of corruption and protection that has been perfected over decades. The heroin economy in Mozambique is thriving and deeply rooted in corruption. Some reports suggest that up to $100 million per year is used to bribing high-ranking officials within the ruling Frelimo party. The country has become crucial in the evolving landscape of East African drug trafficking. Long dominated by Pakistani networks, which have historically controlled the region's heroin distribution, the trade is now facing increased competition from Tanzanian and Nigerian traffickers. The heroin trade has gone digital. Couriers now operate like Uber drivers, using encrypted chats to dodge police and customs. This approach has made the trade more agile and resistant to law enforcement efforts. The next destination is one of the largest dry ports in the southern hemisphere, Johannesburg, South Africa. While the journey from Afghan poppy fields to South African distribution hubs represents an extraordinary feat of logistics, it's ultimately driven by a simple economic reality. Looking at the numbers, we can fully appreciate the amount of money flowing through the Heroin Highway. A kilo of heroin jumps from a few $1,000s in Afghanistan to $25,000 in Europe, hitting $50,000 in Denmark. The immense profitability of this transnational trade reshapes political landscapes and destabilizes entire regions. The heroin trade through the Mozambique Highway shows no signs of slowing. So does this channel. Become a Wasaso Associates on Patreon. It's free. You'll get various perks and privileges like voting on episode, accessing sources for each video, and getting credit as a producer. I want you to be part of the channel's story. For nearly 3 decades, northern Mozambique has been a pivotal transit hub for heroin, largely controlled by a network of South Asian families. These families have deep historical ties to East Africa, stemming from centuries-old trade routes linking Mozambique, India, and Pakistan. Their strategic positioning enables seamless money laundering and drug trafficking operations. Prominent figures within these networks include Ghulam Rasul Moti, head of the Moti Group, engaged in car rentals, import-export businesses, and agricultural investments. The Ayub family, involved in investments in Maputo, including ownership of Ayoub commercial and luxury hotels. But few figures blur the line between crime and power like Mohamed Bachir Suleiman. His rise, influence, and US blacklisting reveal just how deep Mozambique drug trade runs. In 2010, the US Treasury designated Suleiman as a drug kingpin, cutting him off from American financial systems. But long before that, he had built a vast business empire. He controlled a host of businesses including Grupo MBS Limitada and the Maputo Shopping Center. These enterprises placed him among Mozambique's most powerful businessmen, and his influence stretched far beyond commerce. Suleiman is linked to high-level political figures in Mozambique, including presidents. So, despite US sanctions, he continues to wield considerable influence in Mozambique business and political circles. But the full extent of his involvement in the heroin trade remains shrouded in secrecy. In December 2023, the notorious drug lord of the country vanished without a trace. For 5 weeks, he was held captive, surviving on nothing but cookies and apples. When he finally emerged pale and frail, the message was clear. Now, even the untouchable could fall. Authorities arrested 3 men as they tried to flee. His captors, he claimed, were Zimbabwean and South African nationals. Mozambique drug trade had shifted. The drug trade he was allegedly controlling is no longer in the hands of a few elites. Though his influence has diminished, Mohamed Bachir Suleiman is still believed to have a significant role in the heroin trade. This drug export generates up to $800 million annually, making it one of the top 5 most valuable exports in the country. While most of it is transported onward to South Africa and Europe, approximately $100 million per year remains in Mozambique, fueling local economies and political networks. As traffickers build skyscrapers and politicians look the other way from their luxurious mansions, one question remains: can Mozambique ever break free from the grip of heroin? The insurgency led by Ansar al-Sunnah, also known as Al-Sunnah wa Jama, has exploited the region's weak governance and extensive smuggling routes to sustain its operations. While the group is not directly involved in global drug trafficking, it benefits financially by taxing the drugs that pass through its controlled areas in exchange for safe passage. This evolving dynamic reinforces the province's role as both a battlefield and a conduit for illicit financial flows, escalating the cycle of violence and organized crime. Mozambique's heroin money doesn't vanish. It's laundered into banks, casinos, and luxury real estate. Banks, particularly those with weak compliance oversight, have been used to facilitate large international transfers with minimal scrutiny. Retired bank officials have even admitted that institutions often fail to question the origins of sizable deposits. In the neon-lit casinos of Mozambique, briefcases of illicit cash slip through the system, legitimized with the roll of a dice. These establishments process vast amounts of cash daily, allowing traffickers to integrate their earnings into the economy. A relaxation of gambling laws has further facilitated this process, enabling criminals to exploit legal loopholes with minimal risk. And the real estate boom in the country has been linked to drug profits being funneled into high-end developments. This includes luxury hotels and commercial properties. Even the Mozambican Stock Exchange has been suspected of benefiting from laundered drug proceeds. Alarmingly, recent trends indicate a growing local heroin market, particularly among urban youth. Data is scarce, but the signs are clear. Heroin use is rising fast in Maputo and Nampula. Public health facilities are struggling to cope with the growing demand for addiction treatment, and the lack of effective rehabilitation programs has worsened the crisis. With limited government intervention, Mozambique is on the brink of a full-blown heroin crisis similar to those seen in other transit states. If the country does not act decisively, it risks becoming another narco-state where drugs funds war, corruption thrives, and the next generation is lost to addiction. If you liked this episode, check out our Season 2 playlist here. As always, thank you for your time, and thanks for watching. See you in the comments.